Oh, hello friends. This is Mark with Mark's Nuisance Animal Removal. Yeah, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the cage trap today. So stick with me. Let's see what we can figure out. Well, I guess you caught me shifting that trap back and forth like this. What that does is it gets the leaves and all kind of pushed out of the way and the sticks, so your trap is more stable on the ground. And in this case, I'm just going to show you a cage trap that's set out in the open. No real need for stabilization, but you can drive a rod down through here if you want to into the ground to hold it if you feel that it's necessary. But we're just going to set this trap in place, maybe bait it up real quick, and show you that setting a cage trap is not that hard. It's set right now. And when you put your bait in there, you just want to put it behind the pan. A little bit behind the pan. And I set that trigger a little too hair-like. A little too hair trigger. And a lot of times I like to take a little bit of bait and kind of make a lead-in scenario. You put a little bit in front of the door here and bring it out, so when he finds it, it'll just encourage him to go on in the trap and find the bait behind the pan and go for that. Here's our Duke cage trap, the one that has the rings that fall down and hold the door shut. This one definitely needs to be stabilized. If you can see this small tree right here, I have the trap slid up next to it real good. And right here is a stake that I drove in the ground just to hold that side of the trap. So this trap is pretty steady left to right, and the animal, raccoon, primarily won't be able to roll it over. But there's a couple of things to look for in this little scenario. The door is opening up here. Can you see this? This is all in front of that door. You definitely do not want that in the way of the door. So we're just going to get the small sticks out of the way here, the small vines. We don't want anything to get in the way of that door falling. And I don't know if you can see it, but it has a pan in the back, and I'd put a little lead-in bait too. Sometimes now, the raccoons get smart enough, they'll crawl in here and they'll reach over that pan and grab that bait. They'll even grab the whole cup and pull it out, and they'll come right out here and eat it. I zip tie my cans to the back of my trap, so if he has to do that, he's just gonna get the food. He won't get my pan. And hopefully in the process, he'll trip that door. But I have a device I'm fixing to show you next that's gonna help you with that scenario. Give him something to think about and something to do, causing him to step on the pan. Okay, we're on to our third and last cage trap setup. And I hope you can see all this. But if you notice right here is an old, dead, decaying log. I took this trap, kind of hard to see, it's camouflaged pretty good, and I shifted it back and forth and I got it all the way down to the dirt. It's sitting nice and solid. There's no reason for stabilizer stakes or anything like that. But the first thing I noticed when I set this trap, once I got it in place, is this vine that comes down like this and goes underneath the door. You always want to check that door. Will it close? Is there anything in the way? And now the way we have it, everything should be good if we're lucky enough for our target animal to go inside. I mentioned a different way to bait a trap in our last segment, so let's take a look at that. I tried to think of an idea that would take that raccoon's mind initially off the bait so he's not so cautious. And I came up with this little thing right here. It's a little piece of PVC. I think it's 1.5 inches or 2 inches in diameter. It doesn't really matter. I put an end cap on it, drill some holes on it, and I put a little hook. That little hook, put a little hook on it with some wire. And I reach back in that trap as far as I can, and I hook this to the top. So now, when the raccoon comes in there, as he walks in, he has to look up, and his attention is up here, not down here where his feet are. So as he's fighting with this thing, trying to get to whatever bait you're using, hopefully that will generate him standing on that trap pan and causing the trigger to collapse. If you can look towards the back of this trap, you can see that I have one hanging in there. And this has proven time and time again to be a very good way to bait your traps. Yeah, I ain't the brightest bulb in the box, but I can figure out how to fool them every now and then. Keep thinking, keep trapping, and if any of this stuff helps you, like it and share it with a friend. I appreciate you. Y'all have a good trap day.